You know, we spend so much of our lives trying to figure out attraction. We chalk it up to taste, to culture, to chance. But what if I told you that the most powerful forces shaping who you desire were actually forged millions of years ago? We're about to uncover an ancient biological story that, believe it or not, is still secretly running the show in your relationships today.
And it all starts with a really simple but profound question. Have you ever just stopped to think about how uniquely, how completely helpless a human baby is when it's born? It's a true biological oddity, and trust me, understanding why is the key to unlocking everything.
I mean, just look at this contrast. A foal is up on its feet walking around within minutes of being born. A human infant? It's going to be years before it can even begin to survive on its own. This absolute dependency, it isn't some minor detail. It's a huge evolutionary riddle that we have to solve. And that brings us to what scientists call the primate paradox. It's a puzzle that really sits at the very core of what it means to be human. And right now, we're going to start putting the pieces together.
It seems totally backward, doesn't it? Here we are with the most complex brains and societies on the entire planet, yet we produce the most defenseless young of almost any species. But this isn't some evolutionary mistake. Oh no, it's a very specific and very high-stakes trade-off.
So the solution to this paradox, the key, lies in a fundamental conflict baked right into our anatomy. It's a concept known as the obstetrical dilemma. And this is the linchpin. This is what connects our ancient biology to our modern psychology.
To put it simply, it's a conflict between two of our species' greatest evolutionary hits, walking on two legs and having these big, powerful brains. Our bodies had to solve a really tricky engineering problem. How do you push a very large object, the baby's head, through a relatively small opening, the mother's birth canal?
Think of it like a biological tug-of-war. Okay, so on one side of the rope, the need to walk upright efficiently is pulling, making our pelvises narrower. On the other side, our growing intelligence is pulling for bigger and bigger skulls. Nature couldn't give both sides everything they wanted, so it struck a brilliant compromise. Get the baby out of the womb early while its head is still small enough to make the journey.
And the consequence of that compromise? Well, it's the world we live in. An infant that is born, for all intents and purposes, unfinished. An infant that requires this immense, long-term investment of care and protection. And that created a level of maternal dependency that is truly unprecedented in the animal kingdom. Now, this biological reality, it didn't just remain a physical problem. It forced a psychological solution, something I like to call the reliability trigger. And this, right here, is where we finally connect the dots from our prehistoric survival all the way to the feelings of attraction you experience today. Think about it. For our female ancestors, raising a completely helpless child for years and years was an incredibly vulnerable state to be in. Survival didn't just depend on our own abilities. It required a stable, secure, reliable environment. And that biological fact hardwired a powerful psychological screening process deep into the female brain.
And here it is. This is the core mechanism. The source material says it perfectly. Any signals of unreliability or, flightiness in a man would trigger deep-seated biological alarm bells. This wasn't a conscious choice. It was a primal, gut-level survival instinct kicking in.
So what is this ancient alarm system scanning for in our modern world? Well, it's constantly, subconsciously, gauging a potential partner for signs of long-term commitment. It's assessing their ability to provide security, and not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. At its very core, it is always scanning for reliability and protection.
And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. That powerful, deep pull you might feel towards someone who is dependable, stable, and reliable. That isn't just a simple preference. It's the echo of an ancient survival strategy. It's a non-negotiable script that was written into our DNA to ensure the survival of our entire species. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you feel a gut instinct about someone, that sense of total ease or maybe a subtle feeling of alarm, just ask yourself, is that an ancient system honed over millions of years trying to tell you something critical? What biological alarms are guiding you?